Hi, Jordan. It's great to see you today. Nice
Hi.
to see you again. How are we doing today? How are we feeling?
Good.
Good? It's
Yes.
been a good day so far?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, just real quick to go over again. Remember everything about confidentiality, right?
Yes.
Okay. Still got your informed consent, so everything you say here stays here, all that good stuff, unless there's a safety issue.
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So last time we kind of talked about what's been going on, talked about like what would be more ideal for you and how you'd like things to go and change.
Hmm.
So today I want to kind of focus on specific goals that you want to work on,
Yeah.
how we can collaborate together to start getting that to happen. Um, Maybe getting your parents involved and your teachers so that you have some extra support other than just like being in session with me, right?
Hmm.
The more support you have, the better. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Um, and then we'll go from there, basically building out like what's called a treatment plan. And so that's what we're going to work on while you're seeing me. And hopefully it helps with all the progress that we would like to see you make.
Okay.
Sound like plan, man? All
Yes.
right. Okay. So we're going to set some clear goals, some objectives, and some interventions. Um, so if you could focus on two main things as goals for like working with me, what would you like them to be? And don't mind me, like while you're talking, I might be taking some notes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so if you could give me two goals like you'd like to work on, that'd be really helpful for us to get started.
Okay. So I would like to have more to have more attention and to focus more at school.
Okay, so like, okay, we talked about your last session. We did talk about how you're having some difficulties being able to concentrate in class and
Hmm.
stuff. So that's what you're referring to. Okay, good. That's a great first goal. Okay, can we get one more?
Yeah. Um, I would like to be able to socialize with more people and to also get along because I've been getting into some fights at school lately.
That's a great goal. I feel like you'd be a lot less frustrated if we could get that to get better and get that in the works. Okay, great. Those are great goals. Absolutely. So to kind of put it into a little bit of different words for your treatment plan. So it'll
Hmm.
make your first goal to improve your intention and your self-control while at school.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Hmm.
Okay. So the goal will be for you to be able to demonstrate like improved attention during class, like on specific assignments. And what we'll do to see if you're making progress in that area is um, I'd like to implement like a reward system for you.
Hmm.
So if you do have positive behaviors, if you are able to focus and concentrate more for like periods of time longer than like 20 minutes, you'll be rewarded for that, right?
Yeah.
And then would you be okay with me collaborating with your teachers to check in to see if you're making progress in that way?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then it'll be something we check in when we have sessions too about like how you feel you've been doing. Also, that always is important. It's not just about like what everybody else thinks.
Hmm.
What at the end of the day, I'm here to work with you and help you. So we want to make sure that you're feeling good about where you're at in your progress.
Okay.
Um, so what we'll do like that is we'll review like weekly with your teachers, and then if I can't specifically talk to your teachers, maybe your parents can check in with them weekly,
Hmm.
and then they can let me know. Sound like a
Okay.
plan? Okay.
Yes.
And then we want to see some progress in that in maybe about a month or so. So that'll be like our target in about a month. Hopefully we've seen some like progress with your ability to like pay attention.
Hmm.
Um, so another thing that we'll do is when we are in session, we'll have some time that's like cut for just specifically working on improving your attention.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of mindfulness practices?
No.
No. So it's kind of similar to like doing like meditation and things like that. There's going to be some things like that we're going to try together in session to see if that could help you um, with being able to focus better. And it'll help with like impulse control too. So like when you like suddenly feel the urge to like get out of your chair in class and stuff like that, it'll help with that.
Oh.
Okay. And then we will also um, get some like training in how to reinforce like positive behaviors and interactions, right? Um, not so not specifically this area because it's going to be focused on your first goal of like being able to pay attention more.
Mhm.
So it won't this part won't be specifically with like your peers,
Mhm.
but managing those difficulties and just reinforcing positive behavior, but at home now. So if you're able to do these things at home, it'll be easier to bring it into school.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see. Your second goal, we want to enhance your social skills and your peer relationships.
Yes.
So right now, before we get into like how we want to get at that, do you feel like you have any solid peer relationships, or is it kind of just like,
Yeah, it's like
how do you feel about the friends that you do have? Do you feel like they're like you have good support, or do we need to kind of like start from the bottom up?
I feel like I have some good support, but then like I feel like they have their days where like they won't be like as supportive as the rest of the other days.
Okay, okay. So it would be nice to have some more social support.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So you mentioned basketball before, right?
Hmm.
And so I think that that would be a great way to have a social activity and to also help you with your social interactions. And it'll keep you told me that you feel pretty focused and motivated when you play basketball previously, right?
Yes.
So the more you're doing activities that have those things, the more you'll be able to carry that into other aspects of your life. So at school with peers or after school activities with peers and at home. So that's the idea there. So we'll look into you being able to join some group activities that can build those connections and friendships. So I think the good place for us to start there would be with getting you into some extracurricular basketball. I
Hmm.
know you get to play every once in a while, but maybe we can get you into something like after school or something that your school may even offer. Maybe you're not even aware. Maybe there's basketball team you can already play on.
Hmm.
Um, so we'll encourage that. And while we're working on that, what we'll do is hopefully during those activities and then also in sessions with me, we'll focus on communication and teamwork skills because that's going to all come into play there and make it much easier to be able to socialize and have conversations with people without getting like frustrated or overwhelmed. Um, so with that, we'll weekly in our sessions, we'll have time cut out for that, just like in the previous goal. And then I'd also like to have bi-weekly sessions with your family if you're okay with that,
Yeah.
including like your parents and your sibling.
Hmm.
So that way they're all kind of on the same page and you can have a full support system, right?
Yeah.
And then lastly, I think that um, I'd like to be able to work on you being able to express a little bit more to your family. I know you mentioned in the last few sessions that part of why you're wanting to see me is that you have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So with these family sessions that we start doing, hopefully that opens the door for you to be able to have more conversations with your parents specifically,
Hmm.
so that you have support at home too, and you can feel more comfortable with sharing things with them. And then hopefully that means you're less frustrated, overwhelmed, and angry when you're at school. And then there will be less like fighting and disruptions with your peers.
Hmm.
Does that make sense that like
Yes.
those two things go, okay, great. So again, with the bi-weekly therapy session with your family, that is the goal. And the goal is that within like 8 weeks or so, that when we have our individual sessions, just me and you,
Hmm.
we'll have some progress in that way, and you'll be able to share with me that you have felt more comfortable sharing things with your parents. It might not be within that time, but as long as we're making some progress, like that's good.
Hmm.
Everybody has their own time frame. These are just for right now. We'll continue to come to your treatment plan and make adjustments if we need to, if you need more time, or if you make your goals before we plan on, which is great also.
Hmm.
So don't feel any pressure that like it has to be these time frames. It's just This is what we're doing for now.
Mm.
How do you feel about that? Does
Okay.
everything sound okay right now?
Yeah.
Anything changes at any time, you just let me know.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so then what we'll do now is you'll go ahead and sign the treatment plan,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll also sign it. And then every 30 days or so while you're seeing me, we'll go over it again, see if we need to make any changes or adjustments, and hopefully get the ball rolling on you just feeling better and being less overwhelmed in life. And that's the goal. Sound good?
Yes.
All right.